This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January 9th, 2023 edition of the Kubernetes Contributor Summit EU staffing meeting. This is our first meeting. We expect attendance may or may not be low. Who knows? We shall find out. If you have not already done so, please place your name in the document, which I will paste into chat again so that everyone can see it. Today is going to be, I think, mostly us figuring out what we have and what we don't have. We're going to be taking stock today. Some people are going to be late. Some people are going to have missed this meeting. We might need to discuss the meeting time because a couple of folks said they might have standing conflicts. We'll get to it. So, starting at the top, we should probably go around and do a round of introductions because we got a lot of folks and a lot of new folks. I will start. I am Noah Abrahams. I have been involved with the Contrib Summits for several years now. I've generally done day of operations and helping to make sure everything runs smoothly, and foolishly volunteered this time around to take on the role of summit lead. I will pass it over to the other summit lead, Booyah.
Hi, I'm Puya. Have co-led, or actually single-led, the last KCSEU summit, which was kind of a small one after restarting after the pandemic. Have been on board with Contributor Summit since China started, which currently is not a thing. But that's when Josh got me on board and have been sticking to it. Next, I see Josh. Yeah, Josh.
Hey there. Yeah. Pooja and I launched the original Contributor Summit Shanghai. We had two of those. I've done most of the things across the various contributor summits. And so I guess I'm here because, you know, when we get down to assigning all the teams, if there's a vacant role, I'll probably fill it. And if there's not a vacant role, I will show up as an advisor for somebody who's new. So one way or the other. Oh, also I'm co-chair of KCNtribEx for the time being anyway. Kaylee? Oh, Kaylin. Sorry, doing it from a username there.
Oh, that's okay. That's way better than usual. People are almost always going for Caitlin. So the fact that you didn't see a T is encouraging for me. Hi, sorry, I'm late. I was in another meeting. I am working with SIG Security and SIG-CLI. I am a senior infrastructure security engineer at Shopify. I'm currently doing a super amazing program that Shopify is running called Kubernetes Open Source Foundations Program. So I'm getting to work with one of the chairs of SIG-CLI over the next 6 months exclusively on Kubernetes for my day job, which is awesome. And I just have been new to the community. I'm pretty shy, so I thought that volunteering would be a good way to get to know people so that next KubeCon, I don't hide in the corner at the contributor event and I can talk to people that I know. And I think I set content, but I'm up to help for anything. As you can tell right now, I'm very good at talking aimlessly into the void and reasonably good at talking to people. And I guess for passing it, I see Nitish. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm bad at reading.
You're muted. No, still can't hear you.
Okay, we can come back to you.
Later, I know. Yeah, see you, buddy.
Let's pass it over to, I'm going to go with top left for anybody that hasn't spoken yet. So we're going to go to Bob.
Hey, I'm Bob, also known as Mr. Bobby Tables across all the things. I am one of the chairs at KCSEU. I am on the steering committee, and I've been involved in running or helping plan every event since NA 2017. And I am here to basically, I haven't said I've had my fill of running events, but I'm here to take a step back and help the next round of people do it, and just serve as like an immersive advisor, step in if there's any other issue like that potentially comes up. And so I will now kick it over to, how about Grace?
Hi everyone, my name is Grace. I am a senior at Waterloo, previously worked on SIG release for a few releases. I think I signed up for comms with Chris and excited to be here. I'm going to pass it over to Rajesh.
Hey, this is Rajesh. I'm joining this for the first time for the Contributor Summit meeting. So basically, I'm based in the Netherlands. I'm working the Kubernetes community. Recently started contributing with the SIG docs and localization. So just wanted to help out and then maybe volunteer some tasks and also learn from the team and whatnot. So basically this is about me, so that's why I'm here. In what way I can help and contribute, yeah, for the KCSEU this 2023. Yeah. Maybe I can nominate Nigel. I can see you on the screen. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nigel. I am one of the lead shadows for this here Contributor Summit. I helped with some of the planning for the last one, was more involved in the EU Summit last year. I was content lead for that Contributor Summit. So yeah, I've been helping out with SIG-ContribEx for a little while now, with a lot of the YouTube administration stuff, and yeah, helping with these here events. Nice to meet all of you. Hi, hello. I'll pass it to Jason.
Thank you. Hi, folks. Jason DeTiberis. I've helped with a few of the Contrib Summits in the past. I was content lead for the previous one in NA. I help out in various different ways in the community. I've been growing my involvement with SIG-ContribEx over this past year. Dabble with SIG release a little bit previously in SIG cluster lifecycle, driving the cluster API project. Looking forward to working with y'all and super excited to see a lot of new faces here this time around. And I joined a bit late, so I'm not entirely sure who all has went yet. Chris.
I'll volunteer as tribute. Hey, all, I'm Chris Short. I work at AWS right now. I'm on the marketing team there for the containers products we have, but I've been part of the Kubernetes org for a long time. Frequent or infrequent, however you want to say it, I volunteer for these things and usually am around just helping regardless. So this time I have volunteered for comms lead. And I will volunteer Priyanshu. Did I get that right? Or did you already go? One or the other.
No. I'm yet to go. Thanks, Krish. So I've been contributing to the community for quite some time now, and currently I have been worked on contextual logging and structured logging also. So this is my first time over here. I'm really excited to meet a lot of people and work together. I am shadowing for social events. and looking forward to work with all you great folks. Thanks a lot. So I'll move on to Sushmita. Subhashmita, I'm sorry, Subhashmita.
Hello everyone. So this is my first time joining the comms, volunteering for the Contributor Summit. At my day job, I currently intern at CIVO as an SRE intern. And in the part-time, I contribute to Kubernetes. So I'm around the cluster API, provider GCP. Yeah, that's it. Excited to work with you all. I'll pass to Vibor.
Hi everyone, Vibor this side. I'm based in India and I'm currently working as a fresh graduate in VMware. I'm a new contributor in the Kubernetes community. My past experience is basically with the release team of Cluster API. For this contributor summit, I have volunteered myself for the comms team and I'm under Chris. And I'm very eager to contribute and learn with everyone. Yeah. I will pass it to Rian. Yep.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rian. I've been part of the community exactly as the pandemic started in 2020. I joined the Kubernetes community. I have not been to a KubeCon in person yet, so this hopefully would be my first. And let's see how I can help. And I'll pass it to, I don't see any raised hands. I think we're probably done. Anybody else?
Is there anyone who hasn't gone yet that wants to speak up?
Yeah, I haven't. Sorry. I'm not raising hands because I'm driving. So that's the reason. Very quickly, I'm Frederico. I'm located in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm a cloud and architecture lead for Europe for SaaS Institute. I've mostly worked around SIG-ContribEx comms in the last year. I was also the comms lead for Kubernetes 1.26 release. And I haven't so much volunteered as I saw the meeting in my calendar and joined, but I suppose that counts. So I'm certainly available and more than happy to be able to volunteer and work with all.
Let's go back to Nitish from earlier. Did you get your mic working?
I hope I'm audible this time.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Hey everyone, I am Nitish, currently a second year college student, and I have been contributing to Kubernetes from past 4 to 5 months, basically in the documentation area and localizing the contents in the Hindi and as well as in the English language. And this is my first ContribEx meeting, and looking forward to see how the workflows actually go and lay my contributions up to the ContribEx as well. And talking about nomination, I would like to volunteer Sujay for the next one.
Hey, thanks, Nitish. First of all, hello everyone. I'm Sujay from India, still in college. I have not contributed yet in Kubernetes, but I'm looking forward to contribute it and definitely gonna involve in the community. Yeah, I will pass to, I'm not sure who is left.
Let's let people speak up, I guess, on their own.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, probably I can go next. Okay. Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, this is Shivanshu. I'm based out of India. I work for a service mesh company called Tetric, and I've been contributing to SIG instrumentation and some other CNCF projects. So last time I attended the Contributor Summit, and it was amazing. So this time I wanted to be a part of the team, and yeah, I will be working with Chris on the comms side with other folks. So excited to be here. Thanks.
Anybody else, or are we good?
think that's it. This is awesome, by the way. It's great to see everybody and all these new
Nice.
people.
Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. Somebody brought up an interesting point though, just to make sure that everyone is on the right call. This is not the KCNtribEx normal call. This is not just our normal contributor call. This is specifically for the Contributor Summit that will be running in Amsterdam in April. So if you are on the wrong call, that's fine. Hang out, it's fine, we're cool. But also if you are on the wrong call and feel the need to drop, that's also an option. So let's get into the actual agenda now that we all know everybody and we're all best friends now. First things first, we need to lay out who the leads are. As mentioned, Puya and myself will be taking the lead for the summit itself. As of right now, we have Chris as the lead on comms, Jason as the lead on content, and we are still missing a couple of leads. I think many of you have seen the GitHub thread. If you have not, it is linked in the notes document, and I will also copy it and dump it into the chat right now. The one problem that I see immediately from the issue is we have something like 22 people signed up as leads or 22 people signed up as shadows, and we are still missing 3 leads. Bob?
One thing that might be able to help with that, and honestly just planning in general for what potential roles to shadow, is if you will physically be at KubeConEU, or if it is like dependent on getting a scholarship. This isn't trying to like be any issues, but there's like some roles that like work very well that are 100% remote, and others that do require you to be on site. So that might help just sort of filter things out a bit.
And we've also had a handful of people who have raised their hand, not in Zoom, but have raised their hand and said, I'm just here to help out with whatever. We will put you to work, but we need to know whether or not you'll be there. So
should we put that in the notes maybe? Who's attending?
That is a great idea.
Okay.
I think we'll add that let's add that for next week.
Cool.
Please, if you will be physically in attendance. Everyone loves to hear somebody typing. We are planning right now to let the leads of each individual category pick their shadows. So some of them that have no lead but have like 7 shadows, that might be way too many shadows. I don't know what to say about that. We will figure that out more once we have all of the leads filled in.
Does anyone on this call want to be a lead? I'll just ask it now. Okay.
Good. Because we still need leads for, let me go over to the issue right now. We still need leads for registration, which is a good one to be pretty much completely remote. We still need leads for the social event and day of operations, both of which really need to be sort of on site.
One quick, I think Arnaud is going to help with Reg. He's been a previous lead to them, and I think he is looking for other people to potentially either help with leading or to bring up as shadows for future leads.
I'm gonna, I don't think he's on the call, but I'm gonna throw Mars under the bus on that one, because he said he will not be in attendance and wanted to help out. So I'll make sure that the two of them get to talk to one another.
And on celebration, I think last time Xander was in the lead and he mentioned in the Slack that he'd volunteer again.
Yeah, he won't be able to make this meeting.
Yeah.
We do need to discuss the meeting time, but we can get back to that. Federico, get your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. Just a small doubt. I'm going to attend, but I didn't quite get where should I add that information. Is it in the? Should I add a comment in the GitHub threads about the fact that I'm attending, etc.? Or were you going to collect in the next meeting? I didn't get that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we'll just put it in the notes at the next meeting, which will be next week.
Okay.
Plus, it'll give a little bit more time for people to figure out. Maybe we'll put a like a section at the top for folks who want to identify whether or not they're going to be remote or in person.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, that's our big thing. We still need some leads, and we're still sorting out who all the leads in the shadows are going to be. That is our lead updates. Next section typically goes on to CNCF updates. We don't have one right now because I don't think Deb or Brianna are on the call. But we also did this on very short notice so that we could get a first meeting in and get some of these wrinkles sorted out. So we'll hear from them next week. Do we have anything next in the list is content? Do we have anything we want to talk about for content, Jason? Or are we?
Not yet. My goal so far is to narrow down the shadows, get verification from them, and then start to put out a timeline for actions for content.
Okay. Do we have, and this is sort of going to attack multiple angles, do we have the results from the post-Detroit survey?
Yes, we do. There wasn't a whole lot of responses, but they are available.
Okay. Because I think that whatever feedback we get there will probably help with things like determining how much on conference we want to do, et cetera, et cetera.
I can say that there was not a lot in there regarding content.
Okay. Okay. Good.
In general, sorry.
I was gonna say we'll take it to mean we got it right.
Just we don't have all the specs available since Brienne and Deb and Brienne aren't here. But I would probably lean more towards unconference for most of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's next? Comms with Chris. I have a question related to our last session, which you may or may not be able to answer. I think the first thing we probably need to do with regards to comms is get a landing site up. Is that something that comms normally handles, or is that something that somebody else typically takes over ownership of?
Bob?
So
I mean, I can do it. I've never done it before, though.
Yeah.
Go for it,
Just
Josh.
say comms is supposed to have a new role that is the events person within the comms team. I don't know if that's currently filled.
No.
Okay.
So from past KubeCons, it's largely fallen on the leads. Or so
Okay. If we want that under comms, that's fine. I mean,
not the comms leads, the summit leads to at least stub out and get the website going.
Okay.
It's not difficult. It's basically Hugo and can follow our standard method of copying the previous event and then finding
changing
and
dates
replacing.
accordingly.
That's exactly what I did, and then figured out how to embed Sketch into it.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So
happy to help you with that one.
We should probably get that done, ASAP. Ideally, we want the landing site done, before the end of this month, because we're only 3 months out now, thanks to the holiday break. The other thing for comms is we should get a save the date email out. But we have further discussion on exactly what the dates are going to be, because we don't quite know when the meet and greet is going to be yet.
Ooh, yeah. And
I mean, we know the date of the summit itself.
Yes.
It's a Tuesday. Just if there's like the SIG meet and greet and also the SIG meetings itself, right? We're not really sure if they're part of the summit, or did I misunderstand that somehow?
No, that checks out. Sorry, Bob.
So with like the change to like the scheduling of KubeCon, is this on the same day as everything else? It's like all
As
the different...
colos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Instead of 2 days of colos, we will have 1 day of colos, and we are no longer special.
How do we have any feelings about attendance based on this new information?
do we have any data? I guess no, we don't. So
I think getting a save the date out earlier rather than later will help everyone who has not made travel plans yet.
I agree. However, the announcement email from last year includes the landing page, so I will need to do one before the other.
Okay. Then
Or no, it
perhaps...
doesn't. I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm looking at the wrong landing page. So I can get this out, or at least.
So let's get a save the date out up for Tuesday the 18th then, and make sure everybody knows about it. And I guess if we wanted to do SIG meet and greets on Monday, which we had potentially talked about, because I think that's the only thing really left on the agenda for right now. If we wanted to do that on Monday, we can potentially send out an extra email, but we'd want to do it earlier rather than later if we are going to do it on Monday so that people can book travel appropriately. I'm going to just ask, what do people think about doing the SIG meet and greet on Monday, the day before the summit itself? Do we think it would be valuable?
So there's the SIG meetings and there's the meet and greet. The meet and greets like during KubeCon itself.
Yeah.
But for the SIG meetings, that will depend if we can even get that approved by the CNCF, and depending on cost. Because if it is an additional cost, that technically will have to go to the governing board for approval.
Okay.
But can we get rooms at the same time? Like, or was there anything, because it was moved, I think, to Friday because there was no space, or why
No, okay. So hold on, let me clarify, because people are talking about two completely different events here.
Yeah, I was
at
about
the
to
same
say.
time.
Okay.
Right? Okay. The SIG meet and greet is an event that happens during the main schedule of KubeCon.
Yes.
For brand new people to meet SIG leads from Kubernetes with an eye towards becoming contributors. That happens sometime during KubeCon, historically, usually Friday lunch. But it's varied a little bit, and it's going to be dependent on room availability with KubeCon. Then there are the SIG meetings, which is if we have rooms for extra time, we make rooms available for SIGs and other standing teams within Kubernetes to schedule their own team meetings while at KubeCon. So let's discuss one of those things and then the other, and not together, because we're confusing everyone.
Okay. Are both of those under our purview?
Yes.
Okay. That's important.
Yes.
Yeah, even though the SIG meet and greet happens on a different day, usually the SIG meet and greet coordinator is considered part of the contributor summit. So that should actually be a position, by the way, on our list of roles.
And I will add, having the meet and greet during KubeCon is beneficial because then you get new people who aren't yet org members that can attend that event versus the Contrib Summit where it's already existing contributors.
And did we, at the last EU, I feel like we had some SIG meetings that were like part or like scheduled during the unconference time. Like we had them like put up, like be in rooms in that space. Now,
Yeah,
Bob,
EU
is that
and
also
NA.
something that would need extra funding to like
So
that process that you talked about?
It would only if they're happening on Tuesday, the day as all the other colos in the space that we already had reserved. There's no additional cost. It's only if we wanted to say try and do those on Monday, which currently has no other CNCF events scheduled for it. The big issue, if we did ask for Monday, that means we have to get staff to handle the door, the main conference like space, as well as several other things in addition to the actual rental cost. And that would require going to the governing board for approval, or the special there's another committee for sort of some of these budget approvals.
And it's really tricky, I guess. Like, you know, I feel like everyone has been tricky because we're like, oh, how many people are going to show up like post pandemic? And now it's like, how many people are going to show up? Like, if we have all the colos, like, how popular are they going to be?
So, from just past experience with this, the other colos that are going on Tuesday will just be the CNCF colos, and those have a lot less. It's mostly us, the people that tend to be organizers that have commitments at the other colos. Or if they have a talk, you know, someone just has to skate out for that talk and then potentially come back. Where it was problems in the past is when we had the vendor events scheduled for the same day, because most of the vendor events were like long workshops or things like that, where you'd lose contributors for literally the entire day because they had to run, or like, you know, half a day because they'd have to run a workshop. The way things are looking like for EU is Monday is going to be the vendor, like that's the day all the vendors are doing their events. Tuesday is going to be all the colo events for like the official CNCF ones. Also, there will be less CNCF colo events to begin with, just because they now have specific requirements on if they can have them. Like there's not going to be a Kubernetes AI day at KubeCon EU this time, just because of the various requirements to request it now. So
security has been moved out.
Yep.
GitOps has as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those
were the two big ones, right?
Yeah, they were huge.
The next one is Backstage Con, which also had several hundred people.
Yeah.
But I don't think that one will at least move out anytime soon. Yeah, I am not overly concerned anymore about us sharing Tuesday with other colos.
Cool.
That's really helpful to know. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good news, Bob. Like, seriously.
And frankly, I think that probably makes the decision as to whether or not we want to try and compete with things on Monday, because if all the vendor events are going to be on Monday, it's just not even step in those waters.
Yeah. Let's keep it on Tuesday. And
And I think
just-
my concern as well was like, were people going to show up like that early if nothing was happening? But with you saying, no, there's stuff happening on Monday. So like, it'll still be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do we then want to do the SIG meetings as a part of like, during the unconference time?
Do we want to make them a content track?
So we kind of treated them as tracks for the last event and had dedicated rooms for those, and just kind of tracked those out and just tried to avoid conflicts with topics that were going on in the other tracks at the same time, bar the unconference, of course. But that seemed to work out pretty well. We did have some people that wanted to be on one day versus the other, but like Bob was saying, I think with the vendor events being on Monday, that probably won't be as big of an issue this time around.
Okay.
Depending on how many rooms we have, we had like, I think in NA we had 2, and in EU Valencia we had kind of 1, and the other one we shared with Unconference, kind of like.
Well, we had the one big like main room, and then we had 2 like off to the side.
Yeah.
So
So
we
for-
don't. Oh, sorry.
For EU this time, we got the same reservation that we put in for 2020, back when Amsterdam was originally going to happen. And that one, I don't remember the exact requests, but it was sized to be like an actual, KubeCon type event. So I think we will be okay on rooms.
Yeah.
Deb and Brienne can answer that next week.
Cool. We might give one again to Sick Docs, or that is still a thing
For Doc Sprint.
Yeah.
for Doc Sprint.
Yeah.
They deserve a quiet room to work.
They're still doing that, right? Good.
The smaller meeting rooms are a lot easier to get and adjust if they are needed.
Cool. No, I think we'll be fine. Really want to see early numbers at some point.
We need the room layout so we can start on that planning. Okay. I think that covers us for the first. Oh, wait, no, back to the meet and greet. Now that we've talked about the SIG meetings and how we want to handle those, the SIG meet and greet, is there already somebody in charge of that? Or is that something that we need to promote somebody into that role to take care of it?
That is something we need to add. I just commented on the issue that you need to have that in the list of roles.
Yeah, I think we never kind of officially made it a role, and then Josh did it kind of.
Yeah, at the last minute, because nobody had made it a role, and I'm not doing that again.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it was
we
never an
reached
official
out-
role, which is like kind of a mistake for the last 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah, we reached out like a couple weeks ahead of time to a few select people to just like, hey, could you like do this?
Yeah.
And weren't able to get that sort of commitment. So yeah, having it early would be good. Is that one of the ones that we need for the people to like be in attendance to help plan that?
Yes, I think.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of it was kind of wrangling the SIGs to like ask for representatives and like let them know that it was happening on that day and not necessarily being there in the room.
Yeah, we need to reach out to the SIGs for a lot of things, and so it's better if we're coordinated with our asks, so that SIG leads actually are getting a checklist of items instead of getting a bunch of random requests from different people.
Sure.
Well, that sounds like something that a single comm shadow could certainly coordinate. All the information that needs to go to SIGs for SIG communication. But we do need somebody in charge, so we'll add that to the list of needed leads. Yay! Now we need 4 more leads instead of 3 more leads.
I will say, at least in terms of like time requirements and things like that, it's not bad. The CNCF, like Deb and Brienne, tend to handle it well on site. It's mostly just the creating the issue and just keeping on top of the leads and trying to find volunteers.
Yeah. So
remote work is quite over. It's 80% of it, right?
So let's go through. Let's just enumerate the 4 things that we're missing. The 4 leads that we're missing. We're missing the registration lead. That's typically very remote because it needs to handle all of the things before and leading up to the event. And the majority of the on-site is a piece of paper that we can check names off on.
Well, it was said earlier by someone that Arnaud may be doing that.
Yes. So Arnaud might be doing that. I'll talk to Arnaud and Mars and see if they want to tag team that. The social event is definitely an on-site person.
Let's ping Xander if he meant with the volunteer again that he's going to lead that again.
Okay. You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Cool. And if he's not, then we'll need to find somebody. Day of operations. Realistically, that needs to be someone who's planning to be in attendance and also, for the most part, doesn't plan to go to a lot of sessions, which is a tough role to be in. I've done it for a few years. It is thankless, but needs to be be done.
And needs lots of shadows. So
it needs a
if we
lot
have
of shadows. because you need
over,
it-
then we can.
That's a role that can stand to have 7 shadows because you need at least 1 per room. Plus the hallway, plus whoever's doing check-in,
breaks
etc. Yeah, and you don't want people to just be working all day every day. So I think for everybody that signed up and said, I'm willing to help out, if you're going to be on site, we will put you in a room and give you some duties. And then the last thing is the meet and greet coordinator, which is going to need to reach out to all the SIGs. We'll need to know when the time slot is. I saw somebody mention in chat that we might know when the time slot is.
So it's usually Friday after the speed mentoring session.
Okay. But that's
Just
also
like after lunch or something.
It like during lunch.
Or during lunch.
Since the schedule has, 0 set in stone right now. We can only guess at that. Yeah. Rajesh, what you got?
Yeah, I have a question. So when will be the contributor session will happen during the summit?
The Tuesday before KubeCon. So the KubeCon itself is starting Wednesday, going
Okay.
until Friday, and on the Tuesday will be the Contributor Summit.
In the morning?
So usually we start at like 9 or 10 and go until 5 or so, and then there is a social event 6 to 8. That's the rough kind of
give or take.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pia. Yeah, really interested to join them. Yeah.
We'll be far enough north. The social event might go longer. Sun is still up.
Yeah.
We're trying at this point to do from 6 to 9 because like one piece of feedback that has been consistent has been like it needs to be more than 2 hours.
Yeah, social too short is kind of like consistent feedback.
Also, I think a lot of people want to take a break usually in between, like go back after the summit, change clothes, take a shower, whatever. And like I didn't get to the social last time until like 7 o'clock. So having it open is great, but having it run longer also accommodates more people. Anything else that we need to talk about today? Our big takeaways are the save the date and getting the landing page up.
So are we checking into the cost of having SIG meeting rooms available on Monday or not?
I think we'll just no.
No? Okay.
I think we're just not even going to bother try and compete with the vendor events.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's gone.
Plus, a lot of the SIG leads, if they're on site, will probably be at vendor events and be pulled into things. I think. It's my guess.
Yeah. And for the others, we'll save them a day of travel.
Exactly. I will miss having a day in between the events before the start of the conference, but hey, such is life. Anybody else have anything else they want to bring up? Rajesh, hands up again.
Go ahead, Rajesh.
Since I'm based out of Netherlands already, so I would like to volunteer if any on-site activities that I can volunteer in the meantime, or anything which I can help in any other day of operations or something, the social event, so I can volunteer there. Yeah, so just like
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually great. We should make a note I'm going to make a note on the events or can't talk this morning. I'll make a note in the notes file, and please, anyone else that is also local, make a note if you are local.
I'll do that.
Chris.
Never mind. I just found my answer. Literally just found it. Sorry.
Perfect.
Nice.
Anything else? This has been nice and stumbly for our first meeting, which is what we expected.
I would expect nothing less.
Anybody else got any other questions, comments, recipes? Going once, going twice.
When will be the next meeting?
Every Monday.
Every Monday. Okay, check.
We do want to potentially review the time because a couple people said they had conflicts. We will do that in the Summit staff Slack channel. Maybe we put together a doodle. I don't know.
Is everybody in or know to be in #summit-staff in Slack?
Nigel?
I'm not, but I'll take care of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will.
I just dropped a link in the chat if you want to just click.
Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
People joining, I'm seeing it. Nice.
Beautiful.
Anything else? Going once, going twice. Sold to the man with the chicken on his head. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week.
Take it easy, y'all.
Next week. Have a good week, everyone.
Later.
Have a nice week.